Well, a federal lawsuit targets the city of LaVergne in the wake of a police department sex scandal.
The lawsuit alleges the supervisor's, quote, groomed Hall for sexual exploitation.
Megan wasn't looked at like a rookie cop to be trained and promoted. She was looked at as a piece of meat.
He constantly made sexual comments towards me, making unwanted physical contact towards me in front of others.
Sheldon, little bootleg ass studio.
Whoa, now what's the motherfucking cat deal, man? Welcome back to Sheldon's bootleg ass studio, where you come to kick it, vibe out, and shoot the shit with Sheldon. Listen, if you ain't subscribed to the channel by now, you doing myself and yourself a disservice. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and tap that notification bell as well. That way you are amongst those who are notified as soon as I release new content. Also, don't be shy, drop me something in that comment section, that way I can familiarize myself with you and recognize who you are as we are reacting to these videos or covering this news like we doing today. And I appreciate each and every last one of my viewers. So if you drop me something in that comment section and I see it, I will respond to it. So you might just want to be on your best behavior, because if you's a troll, I will get on your dog ass. Indubitably. Video of today, we got a classic case of the Becky gives up the neck and the cakes, and then she want to call for, you know, ape with an R in front of it. So yeah, we finna get up into that. If you hadn't remembered, or if you hadn't heard of the 5 cops who was fired from the sex scandal, you know, a couple months ago from LaVergne County. Anyway, we're finna jump up into it right now. She is now trying to sue and claim she's been groomed and exploited to do what she was done. And we all figure or feel like she could be, you know, blowing smoke and just trying to wiggle her way up out of trouble, which I think so. But without further ado, hit that like button. We finna go and jump up into it right now.
If you ain't fucking with my nigga Sheldon, nigga, fuck you. Yeah.
Alright, so just to brief you up, for those who don't know, or, you know, just to remind you of the situation. Alright, so a Tennessee Police Department was in turmoil following allegations that at least 5 of its male officers had sex with the female officers on and off the job. So far, 5 officers have been fired and 3 more have been suspended without pay, as officials in the Nashville suburb of LaVergne investigate the allegations against the 60-person police department. Mayor Jason Cole says the situation is unacceptable, and as soon as it was brought to our attention, it was immediately investigated and action was taken upon the individuals involved, Cole said in a statement. Our top priority moving forward will include rebuilding the public's trust. The accounts of LaVergne police officers were in an internal report about the department's investigation obtained by NBC affiliate WSMV of Nashville. The officers spoke about sharing cell phone photos of their genitals, having sex in the police department on duty, and taking part in Girls Gone Wild type parties. The actions of a few do not represent the department as a whole, Police Chief Burl Chip Davis said. Davis said that despite the firings and suspensions, we have sufficient staff to cover all of our patrol shifts. He said counselors have been brought in to help our officers work through these circumstances. Megan Hall, the female officer at the center of the scandal, has been fired, city officials said. Also sacked were Sergeant Lewis Powell, Sergeant Henry Ty McGowan, Detective Seneca Shields, and Officer 1 Lugo Perez. Officers Larry Holliday, Patrick Magalico, and Gavin Showborough have been suspended, they said. NBC News tried to contact all the officers who were dismissed or suspended but got no response. In addition to violating department rules against having sex while on duty, they are accused of impeding of the investigation by lying about their actions and engaging in conduct unbecoming of an officer, according to the investigative report. None have been charged with crime, city spokesman Ann Smith said. The Rutherford County District Attorney's Office told WTVF TV of Nashville that it was monitoring the situation. Earlier, Police Sergeant Eric Statz, who is president of the department's Fraternal Order of Police chapter, told news media that none of the officers would be making a statement. Statz owned the houseboat on which a wild hot tub party was held last Memorial Day, where officers were drinking heavily and where at one point Hall lost her top and had vodka poured down her throat, according to the investigative report. Stats is not accused of any wrongdoing. All right. City officials launched an investigation December 12th after a police sergeant informed Cole that Hall was having intimate relationships with fellow officers, according to a report obtained by WSMV that lays out what is alleged to have happened in graphic detail. Under questioning, Powell, Maglico, Holiday Shields, and Lugo Perez all admitted to having had sex with Hall, the report states. Hall also admitted having had sex with those officers and with McGowan as well, the report says. She said she also shared nude images with Holiday, Maglico, McGowan, and Show Burrow, however that all of this pronounced. So she shared nude images with them. You feel me? Don't seem like nobody held a gun to your head to do any of these things, but let's continue. Shields told city investigators that Hall performed oral sex on him in the police gym after initially having claimed, "I have never had sex with Megan Hall," the report says. Of course. You feel me? Powell also initially denied having had any sexual relationships with Hall, the report says. He later admitted in the report that he too engaged in oral sex with Hall on duty in a police station. Or in a police substation, rather. Powell also admitted that as the investigation progressed, he and Hall compared notes in a failed bid to keep their trust a secret from investigators. I don't know what is a tryst. Let's make sure that's not a typo. Never heard of that word in my life. Tryst. Okay. Tryst, a private romantic rendezvous between lovers. Never heard of this word in my life, but on Sheldon Bootleg Ass Studio, we learn something new every day. We don't remain stewheads, you feel me? So if you a stewhead, then you learned something. On God, I'm not a stewhead, and maybe you not a stewhead, but somebody around the world likes to remain a stewhead, and we likes to educate. We put a little medicine in the candy, you feel me? On God. Well, anyway, let's continue. So, there's not a typo. Powell also admitted that as the investigation progressed, he and Hall compared notes in a failed bid to keep their tryst a secret from investigators. And that's probably tryst. Tryst. I'm pronouncing it hella wrong. But anyway, let go. Powell confirmed that he and Hall met at Planet Fitness. The report says Powell confirmed they discussed the investigation, and Powell told Hall he denied all the allegations during his interview with HR. Magliocco, there we go. I know I've been butchering that name, but we on now. Magliocco told investigators that in addition to having sex with Hall, she also proposed doing things. She proposed doing things with him and his wife. She proposed this idea. At least that's what he claimed. I believe it, but let it go. Holiday also reported that Hall floated the idea of having a threesome with him and his ex. Holiday and Magliocco expressed concern in the interviews about Hall's heavy drinking and mental health, according to the report. Magliocco reported knowing that Hall unloaded her weapon and dry fired the gun at her head, so she couldn't hear what it sounded like. The report says. But Magliocco admitted not reporting that to anybody until December 8th, when he said he called Stats to relay these concerns to leadership, the report says. McGowan revealed in what the report described as contentious interviews with police brass that he once went to Hall's house with another female and exposed his genitals. He was also accused of trying to intimidate a city human resources assistant by grabbing her by the neck. Sounds like a police officer. You feel me? McGowan claims it was playful. However, it was unwanted and an aggressive form of physical contact that is not permitted at work, the report says. All right, so this is the initial, information that was given. Now she is going back to say that, she was tricked into doing things. She was groomed into doing these things to be exploited. You feel me? And they were just all big black and brown men that she couldn't control her, she couldn't control them and their urges and all of this, whatever. Big black men just coming at her, and they pointed her out of the whole department that, yeah, that's the one. The redhead one, the white girl that we could possibly get in trouble for, like now, that could possibly yell ape with an R in front of it, and we could possibly get in trouble. Yeah, let's choose her. Sounds about right. But I digress. Hit that like button. Let's fall into this video and let's see what they got to say about this situation.
Well, a federal lawsuit targets the city of LaVergne in the wake of a police department sex scandal. Megan Hall was the only female among the 5 officers fired and then became the target of nationwide ridicule.
Tonight, Hall's lawyer tells News Channel 5's Nick Barris what happened was inexcusable.
And now they're suing over what they call a hostile, sexually charged work environment that victimized a rookie officer.
That's what happened.
Hall was one of 5 officers, along with the LaVergne police chief, fired last month for allegations of sexual misconduct on the job. But it was Hall, the only female and just into her 2nd year on the force, who became the face of the sexual scandal.
These predators, starting from day one, worked to break down her
from day one
barriers. And
so from day one, they began pouncing on her. They seen the weakness in her, and they just chose her out of everybody. Okay.
Convince her to engage in sexual activity that she didn't want to.
She didn't want to.
Flanked by his client Hall, talked about the federal lawsuit
she's going to use those white tears and try to get up out of this.
They filed naming the city of LaVergne, former Sergeant Lewis Powell, former Sergeant Henry Ty McGowan, and former Police Chief Burrell Chip Davis. The lawsuit alleges the supervisors, quote, groomed Hall for sexual exploitation.
Megan wasn't looked at like a rookie cop to be trained and promoted. She was looked at as a piece of meat to be sexualized and exploited.
She was trying to be promoted, all right.
Department scandal.
If we're going to roll with your logic, my G, she was going to be promoted. So you're not making any sense. You were going to be top dog, my G. No pun intended.
Involving sexual misconduct both on and away from the job involving officers. There are no criminal charges.
There are going to be those who say these are consenting adults and she's trying to place the blame elsewhere.
Well, yeah, it's really easy to think that whenever you don't understand the full story.
Clark says Hall said no on several occasions, but her supervisors kept pushing until she gave in, racked by depression to the point of considering.
She said no because maybe it was that time of the month.
Suicide. The lawsuit says when Hall tried to end the sexual conduct, threats were made against her.
That should be disgusting and outrageous to everyone who reads this case and understands the truth of what happened here.
The city of LaVergne declined to comment on the pending litigation. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Thanks, Nick. By the way, you saw Megan Hall sitting there with her attorney while he spoke, but she talked as well about the environment.
What'd she say, big dog?
The LaVergne PD.
He constantly made sexual comments towards me, making unwanted physical contact towards me in front of others.
Yeah, Hall talked at length with Nick. You can watch for that exclusive interview on News Channel 5 this coming Wednesday.
Okay, we're going to be looking for that this coming Wednesday. Well, who's buying? What you say? Leave me your thoughts below. If you vibed all the way out to the end, I really do appreciate you. On God, man. Listen, looks like this is the old classic, get them cakes up, Becky, to the black man and the brown man or whoever, and you get caught and yell, ape. I don't know. I'm just on the outside looking in. I could be wrong. You feel me? Maybe she has her facts to prove. If she do, then we're here to, review those. So, until further notice, this seems as if it was all consenting. You all at parties, ripping your top off, getting alcohol poured down your throat. You feel me? Sending nudes back and forth to each other. This seems like y'all just having a hell of a time. You feel me? And ain't nothing wrong with that. You feel me? Y'all grown. Do what you do, but don't be doing it at work. You feel me? That's what got y'all in trouble. You're doing it at work. That's what got y'all in trouble. If y'all had kept it away from the police department, y'all would have been all right. Out of uniform, you'd been all right. Maybe y'all want to play cosplay or something. You feel me? Off duty. Don't get caught doing it in your uniform. I'm good. All right. Anyway, leave me your thoughts below. If you vibed all the way out to the end, I really do appreciate you. You feel me? Make sure you hit that like button on your way up out this thing if you hadn't already. Yes, indeed. Until next time, I'm sharing the vibes. I'm gonna need y'all to be cool like the other side of the pillow. Stay light on your toes, like you supposed. Oh yeah, no.
If you ain't fucking with my nigga Sheldon, nigga, fuck you. Yeah.
Oh God.